Say good morning, good morning. It's time to start the day. Good morning to you. How did you sleep? How'd you sleep? Yeah, was it good dreams? Yeah. Hey guys, hello. I quit filming after this morning when I got Ira up. Just kind of forgot about it. So it is Monday morning. Well, getting on to afternoon time. Levi is at school. I just finished up at Walmart, so I thought we could do a quick little Walmart haul. Got him. I went in because I'm working on restoring my vanity for my bedroom. Some of you might know what I'm talking about, the black and white dresser. I am stripping the paint off and staining it all black. So I'm sure on camera this is just gonna look like black paint, but I have the drawers done and now you can see the wood grain. And so the difference between paint and stain is that stain actually soaks into the wood, so you can still see the grain of the wood, and paint just sits on top. So I just thought it would give it a more grown-up feel. I got that vanity when I was probably 17 or 18 years old. I got it at an antique store for a little enough, and I think I paid, I don't know, $30 for it maybe. And I painted it because it's a little rough looking, because I didn't know anything about stain and what I was doing, and I painted it black and white because I thought that looked cool. I painted all my furniture in my bedroom black and white. I wanted a black bedroom growing up. My mom said no. So I had a black bed frame that was actually bought. It was wrought iron. So black bed frame, and then the vanity that I got at the antique store, I painted it black and white. I wanted all black, but my mom said I should break up the colors a little bit. I had an emo kid phase, and my mom was not about that life. So I had black and white vanity, and then the dresser that was hand-me-down and my nightstand, I painted black and white as well. Looking back on it, I did the best I could, but it was not a good paint job for one. For two, black and white was just, it just didn't look very good. Anyway, you live and you learn. So I thought, now that I'm a grown-up at 30, I was finally gonna strip that vanity and just stain it all black. And I'm loving how the drawers are turning out. I can't wait to get them all done. I bought hardware the other day for the drawers, but they ended up being too big. I took a drawer with me to Menards and was trying to measure it, like they kept it in a plastic. So I was trying to maneuver this around in the plastic and then try to see if I could line it up with the holes, the screw holes on the drawer, but they're too big. So my husband, who's amazing, measured everything out for me. So now I know what size I need to go look for. So we might get up to Menards sometime today and return these and see if we can actually get some drawer pulls that fit. And then I went to Walmart because I needed more paint remover because I ran out. So I need to work on that at some point today because I really want to get that dresser done or vanity done before the weather gets too cold. Currently this week and a bit of last week, we're having a bit of I feel like this might be racist to call it. I'm not really sure at this point. Growing up, we always called it an Indian summer, which is where, you know, you start to have a cold spell, everything starts cooling down with like fall, the leaves start to change, and it'll go on for a couple of weeks, which we had that towards the end of September. Now we are not quite the middle of October, and everything's heating back up, and it's into like the 70, 75 degree weather range, and that's what we've always called Indian summer, and it'll last 2, maybe 3 weeks, and then it'll dip down and start getting really cold. So I'm wanting to take advantage of this warm weather and get that vanity done before it starts snowing. But while I was also at Walmart, I went ahead and picked up some Christmas gifts for the boys. So this is Levi's last Christmas gift for the year. Got him a Jeep Wrangler. He loves Jeeps. Every time he sees a Jeep on the street, he gets so excited. So it's a nice shiny red one, and it is a remote control car. There are like remote controls back that way. So hopefully he will enjoy it. He also has a remote control monster truck, and he really loves that thing. He doesn't use it a ton though. Granted, he has a hard time steering it, but he's getting older. So, you know, we were just racking our brains trying to figure out what to buy him as his last Christmas gift. We buy each kid 5 gifts for Christmas. And we got Levi everything else, and including his big gift, which is a hobby horse, because he's got like a small little plastic Fisher Price bouncy horse that he loves, but he's really outgrowing it. When he gets to jumping on it, he lifts the whole thing off the ground. And so we got him a new hobby horse, and that'll be his Santa Claus gift along with his Christmas stocking, which I still need to fill. And then he gets four gifts from Mom and Dad. And then he gets his big gift from Santa Claus with his Christmas stocking. So 5 gifts in total. But then we also do a candy advent calendar every year, which those are pretty cheap. I just need to go to Aldi and see if they have them in yet. They might not have them yet, which is fine. So we'll get one of those for each of the boys. And then he also does like a toy advent calendar, which they didn't do advent calendars like this when I was a kid. I didn't even know what an advent calendar was until I was an adult. And it's just a way for kids to count down till Christmas. So he's done Hot Wheel advent calendar twice. He's had a Little People's Hot Wheel calendar once, and then he's had a Paw Patrol advent calendar. So we need to figure out something for this year. He loves Hot Wheels. He had the same advent calendar for Hot Wheels 2 years in a row because we bought it for him one year, and then my mother-in-law had also bought it for him the same year, and so we just held on to it for what was actually last year. So we didn't have to buy any last year, which is kind of nice. So we need to see if Hot Wheels is doing a 2020 advent calendar. I almost think we could just make our own advent calendar and put 20 Hot Wheels in it. It would probably be a lot cheaper. And then we need to figure out an advent calendar for Ira, which if we do a Hot Wheel one, we'll probably do a Hot Wheel for him too, because he also likes Hot Wheels. Both of my kids seem to be the only thing they want to play with is Hot Wheels. So something else we do for them that I'm working on finishing up is we do a Christmas Eve gift, which is something my parents always did. It was a family tradition, and I got a gift on Christmas Eve, and it was always Christmas pajamas, and sometimes I get a book or something. So what we do with the boys is they get their Christmas Eve pajamas, and they get, it's like a little box, and so it'll have a toy inside, and it'll have a Christmas related storybook. So Christmas books are not on the shelves yet, but we already got the Christmas pajamas. They came in, I ordered them last week or so. They're from Children's Place. One nice thing about Children's Place is that they have free shipping. And I got the boys matching pajamas. So I was really wanting to do the Burt's Bees pajamas last year. They had a very similar print to them, but for the life of me, I could not find matching Burt's Bees pajamas. I could find a print for one kid, but not the other. And these look about the same as those Burt's Bees pajamas, but they were a lot cheaper. And I never want to get anything with a year on it because I want it to be things that can be passed down. I got some really cute ones from Children's Place, but they said like 2020, Christmas 2020, and like I don't need that. I need this to be something that I definitely want to be Christmassy, though my kids will use it all year round. But like when it gets passed down to Ira, or if I pass it on to somebody else, like I don't want it to say 2020 on it, you know. So that's what their Christmas jammies are going to be looking like, and it came with the little bottoms, and I got them matching sets, so one for one kid, one for the other. And then to go in their Christmas Eve box with their jammies, they're each getting a pack of Hot Wheels, so they will definitely be excited about that. Levi's always wanting these at the store, but we never, hardly ever let him get like a big pack of them. It's always like, you can get one Hot Wheel because you were good, you're not getting a $7 package. So one for one boy, one for the other, and then they need a storybook. So I still need to get storybooks for the Christmas Eve boxes. And then my family does a Christmas Eve party where we all play bingo for gifts. Everybody brings a man or woman gift. It used to be a gift, now they have everybody do a gift card. But so everybody's supposed to bring a $20 gift card. It's just for fun, and then we play bingo. When you get a bingo, you'll pick out a gift card. So, but this year I'm thinking about just putting $20 worth of cash in a little decorative box instead of a gift card, so then you can spend it wherever you want. But anyways, that's a whole other gift list we need to purchase for, because we need to get the man and the woman's gift card, and then, or I guess at this point, it used to be a man's gift and a woman's gift, but now you just bring a gift card, so it's just bring 2 gift cards per person who's going to, bring 1 gift card per person who's going to play bingo, pretty much. And then parents are just supposed to bring a small gift for kids who are too young for bingo. So we need to get Ira and Levi both a small gift to go with us to the family birthday party or family Christmas party. So they have a little something to open there. I felt horrible the first year because I didn't get the memo, so I didn't bring Levi anything. We didn't have Ira yet, but he was probably like, he was 2, I think, when they first started the bring your own gift for your kid kind of a thing. And I felt awful because I didn't bring him anything. I didn't know about it. So I have a really big family on my mom's side. There's a lot of us. And I missed the memo. Anyway, so yeah, Levi's otherwise done with gifts other than needing the Christmas party gift. And then I need to finish up his stocking, and I need to get him a book to go in his why do I keep wanting to say New Year's Eve? In his Christmas Eve box. And then we still need to get advent calendars. So we are getting there. Also, my husband grew up with the tradition of doing a Friday present, which I'd never heard of, but it's something his mom came up with just to like kind of help the kids wait until Christmas. And so every Friday, the week of the month of December, the kids would get a small gift. So we bought most of them. Most of them are like, you get like a Hot Wheel or like, I think we got him a couple monster trucks, which are a little bit more expensive. And we still need to get some stuff for Ira. But I think those are about done. But I still need to get pretty much all of Ira's Christmas. If y'all have suggestions on baby gifts, let me know. Because the last thing this kid needs is more clothing. I didn't buy either kid clothing. I'm going to get them both. I'm going to get Ira a pack of socks for his stocking. And I'm gonna get Levi a pack of undies for his. But otherwise, them kids don't need no more clothes. So, I'm at a loss for like what to get Ira. I found him, I think I showed it in another video. I think it was my Sam's Club grocery haul. I found this like tent thing that goes in his bedroom, so I got that as a Christmas gift. But that means I need to find him like 4 more gifts, and one of them needs to be from Santa Claus. So I have no idea what to buy him. I'm completely at a loss there. But I did end up buying, so if you guys have suggestions, let me know. But I did end up buying a few things for the boys' stockings. So this we will probably regret later, but this one is for Levi. I don't think Ira is quite big enough to use it yet. Yeah, it says 3 and up. And it is a little microphone thing, so I don't want to make noise and annoy you, but I think it was like $3 or $4. It's pretty cheap, and he's never had one of these before. And I speak into the bottom of it, so I just thought he might have fun with that. This one is for Ira. They are little dinosaur monster trucks. The Levi would probably like it as well. I thought about getting him one of these, but I don't know. Like, they didn't have any variety, so I figured they can share. Otherwise, we'd end up with the exact same package. Whereas, at least with the Hot Wheels, I got them each a different car pack, and I know they will share. So instead of ending up with 2 of each car, we've got different cars, and they will share them. Whereas with this, they're gonna share anyways, but if I got one kid a pack and the other kid a pack, then we'd end up with 2 identical packs of dinosaur cars. So I just got that one for Ira. And then this I thought was kind of fun. It's a Dino's Dig. And so it looks like a dinosaur egg, and it's got like a little chisel pick here. I bet this is a lot like sidewalk chalk, like the feeling of it. And they excavate the dinosaur egg, and there will be a dinosaur figure inside. So I just thought it'd be fun for Levi to do a little activity and something fun to put in his stocking. And then I got him a thing of scented markers to do his homework with. He always wants to color his homework with a highlighter. So, and he doesn't have any kids' markers. I've kind of avoided ever getting him markers, I think for obvious reasons, because they're messy. But he only ever wants to color his homework with markers, with the highlighter marker. So everything's colored in pink. That does not, what is that supposed to smell like? Blueberry? That did not smell like blueberry. But I remember having these things when I was a kid, the scented markers, and I thought they were so much fun. So, it smells like nothing. Grape? It did not smell like grape. Y'all remember that fake grape scent from the 90s? I'm sure you do. Ugh, I thought that's what I was expecting, and that's not what it was. And this one is coconut. I'm not getting coconut. I'm getting my Aunt Becky's musty basement. Sorry, Aunt Becky. Not the basement you have now. The one you had at Windfall. Not that I think she'll ever see this video, but This one is lime. That one actually smells like lime. That one's actually on point. This one is banana. I smell nothing. I had literally no scent to it. What has happened to these scented markers, y'all? I remember them being strongly scented when I was a kid. Granted, I don't think they were from Crayola. I think they were like, y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't think they were from Crayola, but they were, I think they were a permanent marker. But they were smelly, like they were strong, and they were, I think, pretty accurate. This one's lemon citrus. I'm not getting lemon. I'm getting, it smells like a house cleaner, but like, not a very good one. We'll try one more. And this one is strawberry. No, that barely has a scent. It says there's silly sweet scents, and most of them I can tell there's a sweet scent to them, but for the most part, other than the musty basement one, which was supposed to be coconut, they're just not hitting the mark very well, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna guess they went super light on the scents so kids don't sit around huffing them like kids in the 90s did. Just my thoughts. And we got one more bag here to go through. And the markers are not a Christmas gift. He gets homework every Monday, and I'm tired of him wanting to color with a pink highlighter, so he can start using those now. I had a bit of a heyday with their wax cubes because they had in some delicious fall scents, and they sell fast. So I bought them all. So we have a salted caramel, which smells delicious and warm and inviting. And so I bought 1, 2, 3 of those. And then we've got a crisp apple one, or sweet apple, super good, nice light fresh scent. And then we got pumpkin pie, which is nothing new. I already know I like that one. Same with the apple. The caramel is a new one. Never had that one before. Apple cider donuts, they came out with last year. Love this one, so I bought 3 of them. And then new ones, other than the salted caramel, I seen that they had pumpkins and plum, which is okay. I don't know, like, I'm undecided on it. So far, so much so that I only bought 1, and I'm kind of thinking maybe I should have bought more because there's only a couple of left, and like I said, these things sell fast. So if I end up liking it when it's burning, I'm probably going to regret not buying more than 1, but like, if I don't like it when it's burning, then like, I'm gonna be happy I only bought 1. That makes sense? And same thing with this one, which is sugared berries, which I think I'm gonna enjoy, but it's very sugary scented, which I mean, it's in the name. So anyway, that's everything for this haul. I'm gonna eat myself some lunch while Ira is sleeping and Levi's at school. I also need to wrap Levi's Jeep before he gets home. So actually, let's put this all away, wrap his Jeep, and then I will eat some lunch. So I did not get enough wrapping paper to do both sides. Don't you love it when that happens? You end up with gapping. I'm gonna have to patch some paper in, but otherwise his Cristin's gift is ready. And if you're curious about this wrapping paper at all, I found it at Walmart in like a 4-pack. So just in case you're interested. Got a burger patty going, and I've got some broccoli going. In case you didn't know, my microwave went out, but I haven't really been missing it. So, go ahead and give this a quick stir. Broccoli is frozen, so we'll see how that pans out. Give that one a quick flip. And my meat is crumbling a little bit. Should have used some pan on that. And add a little extra steak seasoning to the mix. Ooh, that came out strong. Okay, I'll show you guys lunch when it's ready. Lunch is ready. We've got my burger with cheese, some steak sauce for dipping, and my broccoli. So kids are gonna go ahead and have their dinner. Levi asked for cheese sandwiches. He is home from school now. So cheese sandwiches, there's some Sun chips. These are the salsa ones. I had never tried these before. My husband already knew they were good. But Levi picked them out at the store last night. So, and the kids really like them. They're really tasty. So, yeah, some Sun chips, some strawberry yogurt with a little bit of whipped cream on top, carrots for Ira, apples for Levi, and yeah, that'll be their dinner. Kind of like a late lunch, early dinner. Levi just gets so hungry after school, so having something to tame the beast helps. And then if he gets hungry closer to actual dinner time, then we'll, you know, feed him according to his hunger needs. But normally by then, a decent snack is all he needs. So this is, I kind of call their dinner, because by dinner time, he normally like wants an apple or some crackers and cheese. Like, he's not looking for a meal anymore. So anyway, go ahead and get the kids fed, and yeah. So I thought I could just tell you guys a little bit of a little story that just happened. Whoa. While the kids eat. So, like all summer, back alley and front road and my whole dang neighborhood, they have been working on gas lines and water lines. It has been a pain. I know it needs to be done, so I'm trying not to complain too much. But like every road getting blocked off, getting blocked into our parking space, not being able to have people come over because the road's blocked. It's just, it's been all summer. It's been a mess. You feel me if you've had that done in your area. It needs to be done, and I'm glad these folks have work to do. But holy cow, can they do it someplace else, you know? So,
can I do markers?
We can color markers after you eat. He didn't end up having homework this week. Normally he has a packet of homework to do every week. And no homework this week. Which, it's super easy. I have him do like the entire packet on Monday just to get it done and turned in. It's like a couple of pages of color the number 3s and circle anything with 3. Or, you know, our letter for this week is A. So color anything with letter that starts with letter A. You know, those kind of things. Super easy. So we normally have him get it done. It takes him, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes at best. So anyway, teacher said no homework this week. So he sees his markers and he's wanting to use them. So we'll have to get him out some coloring books here after he eats. But anyway, they have pretty much done all of the work at the street for both the back alley and also for the front road. But they have not replaced the lines. Well, we got one of our meters replaced. I don't know if it's for the gas lines or the electric company or the water company, but we had one of our meters replaced. But now they need to replace. I think this guy was with NIPSCO, so I think that's for our gas line. Yes, I said water company. You didn't know there's such thing as water companies, did you? So we gotta pay the water company for the water that comes out of the sink in the bathtub. Okay. Did you know? Okay. Anyway, they keep marking. Okay, Levi. They've been marking for like, I don't know, probably a month or more. They've been marking our front yard and putting arrows in it for the meter so that they know where to do it. But like, they're not doing it. It just, you know, they haven't done anything with it. And Mike has even ran over the little flags they put in the yard a couple of times because they put them there and then they just sit and they sit and they sit and nothing gets done and the yard needs to get mowed, and so he mows it. Like I said, it's been like a month and a half or more. And so we noticed the other day that they came through and they spray painted and put flags out again. And again, we thought, whatever, they're never going to get around to it. And today, after wrapping Levi's presents, I ran out of wrapping paper after I had to do that patch-in that I showed you guys. So I ran out of toilet paper. I ran out of wrapping paper, and I was taking the wrapping paper roll out to the recycling bin, which is still down at the street because I have not brought it up yet. And as I'm walking down towards the street, I'm hearing what sounds like a man in my side yard by my side gate. And I come around the corner, and I see a guy who looks like, and clearly he's a meter reader. He's got on his hard hat, he's got on the steel-toed boots, he's got on the, like, orange vest that marks him as being, like, a worker, you know? So I very much so recognized he was a worker. And plus, I seen hair. Yes, there was a hair.
And a worker?
I seen a NIPSCO truck at my neighbor's across the street here this morning. So,
Is the neighbors across the street?
yes, the neighbors across the street had the NIPSCO truck. So anyways, whoa, hey, why are we spitting it out? You've been eating this so good, and now we're making messes. Don't play in it. You get it all over yourself. Well, you could have ate it. That was an option.
Can we eat the markers?
You eat your dinner, and then we'll get out coloring books, okay?
Markers?
You eat your dinner first.
Can we do markers?
So, anyway, I knew it was one of the workers. So, but I see that his stuff is like tossed all over my side yard in a heap, and he looks like he's about to hop my gate, which my gate is locked. And my first thought is like, I see that you need to hop the gate, but like, why would you not just like knock on my door and ask me to unlock it, you know? So I'm like, as he's in the middle of almost trying to hop my gate, I'm like, do you want me to unlock it? And he looks up and he goes, oh, yes, if you can. Is your dog nice? I forgot Yoshi was outside. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's fine. That's when I seen Yoshi behind the guy.
Is your dog nice?
Yes, our dog is... Hey, vlog, is your dog nice? Oh, my gosh. Levi wants to know if your dogs are nice. So, anyway. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's nice. And Levi... Hey, don't say that. That's not nice.
I shut up the dog.
Well, Yoshi wants to come in here and eat what Ira's throwing on the floor. We keep Yoshi locked up. Oh, you can't see. We keep him locked in the kitchen while Ira eats, because otherwise you'll give him a bite and he'll take it out of his mouth and feed it to the dog. So Ira won't eat anything. So he has to get locked up so the baby can eat, and then if the baby drops things on the floor, then he comes in and can play vacuum cleaner. He's very good at being a vacuum cleaner. So anyway, the guy is like, after I tell him that Yoshi's nice, he goes, oh, thank God you're a nice dog, and like puts his hand down for Yoshi to come to him, and he starts petting him and everything. And Yoshi's wagging his tail and eating it up. And the guy's like, I came in your back gate there, and I didn't see your dog. And the only thing I could think is that maybe Yoshi was taking a poop or something, because normally he is on guard and like barks at everything. So my guess, because the guy had gotten the back gate shut, so my guess is that he opened the gate, shut the gate, was walking through, and then maybe Yoshi chased him, because Yoshi is hyper and a jumper, and he's a little mouthy, but he's super sweet. And so my guess is that maybe he charged at the guy. Yeah, he's jumpy. My guess is that maybe he charged at the guy trying to play, and the guy probably ran to my back gate here, or my front gate, thinking, oh, I'll just get out the gate. And then come to realize that my gate is locked, and so he threw all his stuff over the gate and was trying to jump it, and that's when I came around the corner. And he was trying to tell Yoshi, you eat your dinner first. Dinner first. After you eat. And then, you know, came to realize the gate was locked and was like trying to jump the gate. So, anyway, I thought it was a little funny. I could definitely see the guy was stressed out and freaking out over it, which is understandable. Like, I would be stressed out too. Yes, a guy tried to jump the gate. But my thoughts is like, if you don't know these people, if you don't know the people, Levi, I'm talking.
Is the guy strong?
I don't know if he's strong. I didn't ask. If you don't know if people have, like, even if Yoshi wasn't outside and he just come in my gate, like I didn't know he was there. So like I could have very easily had like an aggressive dog that I let to go potty not knowing he was even in my yard, right? Like hopefully this guy learned a lesson and got off easy with Yoshi, because I mean that could be, I mean I know that it was probably just easier and more convenient for him to just walk through my back and just think he's gonna get things done really quickly. I get that, and like I've never done his job, so I hate to judge. But like when you don't know people's yards that you're going into and you don't know if they have pets, like why would you put yourself at that kind of a risk? It wouldn't be that hard for him. Yes, pets. It wouldn't be that hard for him to come around to the front and knock on the door and be like, hey, I need to look at your meter. I need to go through your backyard, what have you. You know, if you have animals, can you keep them locked up? Yes, I know. Yoshi's an animal. So, I don't know. It was a little funny, if I'm being honest. I could definitely tell the guy was stressed out about it. But, and I understand why. Like, I'd have been freaking out too. Nothing like having a 65-pound dog charge at you, right? Like, it would be terrifying for anybody. I find it slightly comical because I know Yoshi's not going to hurt anybody. There is purple tape, but that is not a toy. This tiny thing of tape. This is like my last thing of tape. We need to buy some more. It's very little.
I love it.
You love it. You're so sweet.
And it's cute.
It's very cute. Very cute and very little.
Is that baby?
It's the baby tape. You're right. Eat your dinner and then you can play in color.
Can I play outside?
It's about to rain, bud. I don't think we'll be going outside anymore today. Do you want your carrot?
Can I play in the rain?
Do you want your carrot?
Can I play in the rain?
He laughs every time he eats carrot.
Can I play in the rain?
See, carrots are so fun. They make us giggle. Levi. Hey, you finish your dinner. Eat that good carrot. Can you finish your dinner?
I watch Hot Wheels.
Can you finish your dinner?
I watch Hot Wheels.
Can you show the vlog you can eat? You are capable.
Hey, vlog, I eat.
Good morning. It is. Well, you let them sit for so long. Now they probably are cold. You should have ate them sooner. Motherhood. So, anyways, it is Thursday. Levi, just eat your nuggets.
Is it motherhood?
I said motherhood, not brotherhood. So anyways, it's Thursday. I've just been in a funk where like I don't want to do anything. I wouldn't call it a depression. It's not that deep, but like I just want to veg out on the couch and do nothing. So that's kind of what I've been doing. So I haven't vlogged much. They are still doing road work. I'll flip you around here in a second. They're currently digging up my driveway. So yeah, out there digging my driveway up. So that's fun. I mean, in the end, I guess we'll be happy to have new gas lines, I think it is. But it's still frustrating and annoying. And I don't know if I told you guys about the other day or not, but I went to go get, it was yesterday, so probably not. I went to go leave to take Levi to school, and they were starting to score the back alley. And they were like starting to chop it up and stuff. And nobody bothered to come and tell me I should move my car. It was still parked back there. And they were literally right behind my car starting to saw the road up. And I heard it and I went out there and I'm like, hey, I need to leave. He's like, okay, no problem. And he like, thankfully he hadn't cut too far into it that they didn't need to like cover the hole or anything. It was just barely like a line on the road. So he moved and I was able to get the car and pull it around to the front. But I'm like, a little heads up would have been nice that you're gonna cut up the back alley right behind my car and put a giant hole there. Like, so anyway, yesterday we've just been parking the cars in the front because we're like, clearly they're not going to give us a heads up or a warning that we might want to move our vehicles because they're going to dig holes behind them. So anyway, yeah, they're doing that. So hopefully they, you know, put the driveway back the way it is currently. We also had back behind the privacy fence, we had like a tree stump that had a chain link fence like it grew around a chain link fence, and so we could not get the stump out because of the chain link fence. If you guys have been here long enough to know about when we bought the house next door and had it demolished, we had a really crappy contractor who we had asked to cut that stump out, and we thought he'd use the excavator when he was out here to do it, and he didn't. He tried to use a chainsaw, broke his chainsaw on the chain link that was grown around the fence. Yes, there's an excavator outside.
Can I see it?
Well, it's raining. Yeah. So, anyway, broke his chainsaw, and we never got the stump out, so it's just been back there looking gross. It looks bad. And it's one of those stumps that's like still wants to be a tree, so it grows branches every year, and we have to go out there and hack back these really scraggly looking branches. So anyways, they ripped that out, not sure why, but not complaining about it either. I'm glad it's gone. But then they also spray painted parts of my yard where they're gonna have to replace the line. Yes, which is fine.
I see it. I see it. I can see it.
That's fantastic, kid. Do you ever have days, I feel like I'm being an ass being like that and just walking away, but do you ever have days where you're just like tired of being in toddler land? Like, I don't care about excavators. I don't care that you can make an L out of a straw. I don't care that your chicken nuggets are cold because you sit there and fought me on eating them because they were too hot, even though they weren't too hot because me and your brother ate them, but you still wanted to sit there and like have a fit about it, so you let them sit and they got cold, and now you're like, now they're cold, and it's like, oh, I don't care. Like, ah. I'm sure other mothers out there can relate, and I feel like I'm being an ass by just walking away from him, but like, good Lord, I'm tired of being in toddler land, like, driving me crazy. So anyway, they're marking up my yard for places that they need to cut, like work on the lines and stuff. And one of the places they're going to be digging is right in the middle of my strawberry patch. I bought like 2 strawberries this year. They were just starting to propagate. I had a nice little bundle going. They're all spray painted over for them to dig up. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I don't know if I should go out there and try to dig them up nicely myself and see if I can replant them. I don't know. I feel like that's my only option, is try to save them, because otherwise they're going to dig them right up. But anyways, that's what's going on right now. Levi's got school in a little bit, and I gotta watch my mom's dog while she gets her carpets cleaned. And then Levi has a haircut at 4 o'clock. Things did not work out for his haircut on Tuesday because the stylist got the days mixed up, so she rescheduled for today at 4. So hopefully he does well. Sorry, I'm horribly backlit. There's just no good lighting in this house. With all the windows we have, no good lighting. Speaking of house hunting, oh my goodness, I'm just kind of over it. I feel like we should just wait until after Christmas to do house hunting. My realtor has sent us several houses, and none of them quite meet the criteria. Like, if we were just desperate for a house, there's been some cute ones. But, like, I want this to be our permanent forever house, right? Like, I feel like the house we're in right now is our starter home. I feel like this has been our starter home, and it's not a bad house. It's just in a bad neighborhood. And so, I'm sitting on my laptop. Probably not a good thing. Ugh. I didn't realize I was sitting on that. So, I want our next house to be like the perfect house. Like, she sent us a house the other day that was really cute and almost perfect. It was 4 bedrooms, looked really good, had an acre of land, only had 1 bathroom. And I'm like, no, I want at least 2 bathrooms, at least a bath and a half. Preferably 2 full bathrooms, one of which is a master suite. I think that would be fantastic. I grew up in a house that was quite small. It was a little bit smaller than the house that we have now, and it only had 1 bathroom, and that was a struggle with 3 people. Now we've got 4 people living here with 1 bathroom, and granted, one of them's in diapers, and the other one's potty training, so far we haven't had too many issues, but like, they're coming, and then we want to do foster care, which means more kids. And I don't want to be in a house with potentially 5 to 6 people in it if we end up adopting or fostering a couple kids and only have 1 bathroom. Like, I want more than 1 bathroom. So, like, I feel like I'm being super nitpicky because I'm like, no, not that one, no, not that one. But I'm like, this is like a major purchase. Like, I need it to be perfect, right? Like, you would inspect a Louis Vuitton bag before dropping $1,000 on it, right? I mean, not that I've ever been in the predicament to be dropping $1,000 on a Louis Vuitton bag, but if I was, I would want it to be perfect, and I would damn straight take it back if there's anything wrong with it. So I'm like, if I'm gonna drop $100,000 to $150,000 on a house, I want it to be perfect. Like, so. And that's by no means me saying anything bad about my realtor. There's just not a lot of inventory currently. There's just, and I've heard that with several different markets and things I've read on Facebook, like there's just not a lot of houses for sale right now. And so far, I've only seen one house that would fit our needs perfectly. It was beautiful in the country on, I think, like an acre of land. It had like a nice pole barn type garage thing. It had like 3 bathrooms, 4 bedrooms, had everything we wanted, but it was like right at the top of our price range, and the estimated monthly payments were going to be like $800 something a month, like $880, and that did not include mortgage insurance, which I didn't know that was a thing until recently. And maybe I'm being unrealistic here, but I would like our monthly payments to be around $500 a month. So I think in order to do that, we need to buy a house that's probably around $100,000 or less, which probably means getting a fixer-upper, which we are still waiting on information for that house out in the country. That is what started this whole house hunting thing. My realtor sent a letter to the original owners, and we'll see what comes of it. So far, we haven't heard anything, but it's been like less than a week. Like, we're probably coming right up on a week since she sent that, so we'll see. But again, my thoughts on it is like, if it went to collections, like, not collections, but like, if it went to foreclosure, would they really bother responding to a letter? I mean, I probably wouldn't, but maybe they're nicer people than I am. So I feel like something like that would be a good option if we could get it really cheap, and then, you know, do the remodeling loan and maybe keep everything right around $100,000. I think that would be a solid option. And I'm kind of thinking, if it comes about, that we can put a bid on it, maybe $30,000 to $35,000 as an offer, maybe. There's a house outside of a town close by that I just happen to drive. I've been driving out to towns, just looking to see if I can find anything for sale that maybe my realtor has missed. So there's very few houses to find. I found one house. Well, I found a few houses, but they were like astronomically out of my price range. We're talking like $300,000 plus. One of them was only a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, and it was like over $300,000. And I'm like, why? Why? Like, those must be huge. Those bedrooms must be the size of my whole house currently. Like, why would you spend that much money on a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom when there are other options in the area to give you more rooms in a house? Like, I can't with that. Maybe it's a brand new build. I don't know. But, like, I can't. I need more for that kind of money. Like, I'm expecting a mansion here if I'm spending $300,000, okay? So anyway, and of course it was in a super ritzy neighborhood, like super, you could just tell with the houses. It was like, I didn't even realize how many new build neighborhoods were popping up in my town. Had no idea. Did not know until I started driving around looking for houses. Had no clue. So it explains all the extra traffic we've been having lately if we've got all these new people moving in. Though the last reports I heard, our town had like 55,000 people in it. But I'm like, with all these new builds we got popping up, I don't know about that. So anyway, I don't know what's going to come of it, but I'm kind of feeling like maybe we need to take a step back from the house hunting and try to save up more money towards down payments and such. Though I've been told if we get something out in the country, which is what we're kind of leaning towards, just get away from people. We're not people-y people. We don't like people. We're the kind of people who go to the grocery store and park out in the boonies and get pissed off when somebody else parks next to us in the back of the parking lot, because, like, we're not looking to make friends here, right? Like, there's a half a dozen other parking spots around here that you could park in, and you park next to me. Like, that pisses me off when I park out in the back of the parking lot to get away from people, because we're just not people, okay? We're like loners, very much so. And we're just tired of having neighbors. We're just tired of it. And we found out that our neighbor next door that we actually like is planning on retiring and moving within the next couple of years. And then the old lady who lives across the street, things probably aren't going to be so good for her. I don't know. I feel like maybe they're going to put her in, I don't want to call it a nursing home, but we've got like these apartments here that are considered assisted living. My grandmother was in for one for a while, and it's like retirement home kind of places. Again, not nursing homes, but they're all for people who are like 65 and older. They are private apartments that people get. It's like a regular apartment complex that you would find. You get 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms. Some places allow pets, some places don't. They do have like activities and things for the residents to go do, like bingo and things like that if they want to. But what makes it assisted living is that they have an on-call, I think, nurse who stays on hand just in case anything happens with a resident. And then the bathrooms, I remember, at least in my grandma's bathroom, I can't remember if it was anywhere else in the house. It might have been, or apartment, I should say. But at least in the bathroom, there was a pull string in case she fell, and it would send an alarm down to the nurse that was on staff. And there was also something by the toilet in case she got stuck or fell by the toilet. I don't remember there being any other alarms in her apartment, but I could be wrong. Otherwise, completely normal apartment that you would find anywhere else, except for there's like an on-call nurse and there's like pull strings to sound an alarm if something happens. So that's why it gets called assisted living, is if something like that happens. But it's not a nursing home where you're sharing a room with somebody else and there's bedpans and nurses everywhere, and like, it's not that, you know. It's like you actually get an apartment to live in. So I think that's what my neighbor might be looking into doing since she's getting older. She's probably well into her 70s by now, if I had to guess. Or, wrong neighbor. I'm thinking the lady across the street, the old lady. They're both kind of like old ladies, if I'm being honest. But the lady across the street she's got to be pushing in her 80s, I would assume. And I seen that her car got towed away, so I don't know if her family made the decision that she's just too old to drive, or my husband and I was kind of thinking when they were out there doing like utility work in the front of the house, like on the main street, we think her car might have got hit by one of the like backhoes or something. So it could be it got towed off to get repaired, and maybe it'll come back. It's been gone like 2 weeks now, so I don't know how long that normally takes. But I've not seen her drive since the pandemic hit. I have also not seen her leave her house since the pandemic hit. And then yesterday, or maybe the day before, I seen a moving truck pull outside of her house. But it wasn't there for very long, so I don't know what was going on. Maybe the guy just, I don't know, stopped to get his bearings or something. But her kids, her adult children, have been coming by like every other day, if not every day. So I'm wondering if she's not getting to the place of needing to be in like an assisted living facility or a nursing home. That's kind of how things happened with my grandma at the very end before she went into a nursing home. She lived in her house, and my dad tried very hard to make it to where she could stay in her house. Her care that she needed just got worse and worse and worse and more to the point of like, we can't physically handle it. We were even making the arrangements for my husband and I to move in here and live with her right before a doctor finally said she needs to go to a nursing home. And that was after my parents came over and found her almost dead in her recliner because she was having a diabetic episode and had not taken her insulin, had not drank any water, had not eaten anything all day long, possibly even from the evening before. It was like 80 or 90 degrees outside, and she had the heater, I think it was like 80 or 85 outside, and she had the heater in the house cranked up to like almost 100. Like, it was hot in here. I mean, I wasn't here for it. I had to work. My parents came by to check on her, but it was bad. And they called the ambulance, and after they got her all sorted out at the hospital, she was at the hospital for a couple weeks, and then she had to go. I guess I never told the story of how she ended up in a nursing home, but like, she had to go because my parents were trying to keep her as independent as possible and keep her at home. Though they did have to take away her driver's license and her car because she was having problems, again, from diabetes, of not being able to move her feet accordingly. And she was at one point talking about how, oh, sometimes I'm driving and I need to stop, but I have a hard time getting my foot on the brake. And it's like, maybe it's time you stop driving. Like, And then she'd also been having problems with like getting lost, and she'd just be out driving because she couldn't find her way back home. And keep in mind, my grandmother was born, raised, and lived her entire life in the same town, but she was starting to get lost here, and she would just be out driving 2, 3, 4 hours, and then she'd finally find her way home. So that happened a couple of times, and then she told us about having problems with getting her foot on the brake, and then I took a ride with her across town probably about a month before my dad took her license away, and that was terrifying. She nearly sideswiped several people. She was trying to drive down the middle of the road. She was not stopping for lights like she was supposed to. Oh man, that was a scary ride. And I'm pretty sure I insisted on driving her back home after that because I didn't think we were going to make it. That was scary. And then it was like a month later, my dad finally, it was really a hard decision for my dad to make. And it was a lot of discussion on all of our parts. And my dad finally, told his mom, like, I think it's time you give up your license because you're just becoming a danger to yourself and others. And that's what it was coming down to. And, but it's not an easy choice to make. It is very hard to take somebody's independence away. Very, very hard. And, anyway, when it came down to her going to the nursing home, she had that diabetic episode, was taken to the hospital, was at the hospital for, like I said, a while, like a couple weeks, and then her mobility really deteriorated, and so they sent her to a rehabilitation center, and she was only supposed to be there for 2 weeks, and if she had followed the program that they had for her to strengthen her up, they had plans that she could come home. But my grandma has never liked exercise. She's never wanted to follow a diet. She's never wanted to partake in any of it. And she just seemed perfectly okay with just sitting in a wheelchair. Like, perfectly okay with giving up her mobility and her ability to walk. And she pretty much, like, she started off doing what they were asking her to do with, like, the rehabilitation stuff. But then it slowly got to a place where, like, and again, she was only supposed to be there 2 weeks. But after, like, a few days, I guess, like, she just gave up trying to work on it. And everything just went downhill. It went from them being able to get her to stand on her own and walk around a little bit to her just pretty much being wheelchair bound. And that was the point where they had to have the talk with the doctor about, like, it's time she goes to a nursing home. Not to mention if she's going to be wheelchair bound and can't get up and walk around, like, she's going to be completely isolated in this house. Because there are steps up the front and steps out the back, and there's no way, like, it's not a handicap accessible house if she's going to be in a wheelchair. It's not. And so that's how it came about that she ended up in a nursing home. And it's because again, a whole slew of other health problems going on, but she stopped working on her mobility. I got a crier out here. Something's going on. Okay, guys, I'm feeling a little creeped out. Sorry about the lighting. It's awful in here, I know. A little bit creeped out right now. That's not helping things. So, why does moving 3 inches make a difference in the lighting? So, I was just sitting in the living room with Levi. We were cuddling, and he's watching his Hot Wheels show, and we were talking about trick-or-treating because he's excited for trick-or-treating at the end of the month. And the Hot Wheels was a Halloween special, so they were trick-or-treating on the cartoon episode. And randomly, he is, well, at some point, like, we were snuggling, and at some point he gets up and he's, like, standing there. But he's still talking about trick-or-treating and, like, where we're gonna go trick-or-treating at and how the cars are trick-or-treating. And then he gets quiet for a moment, and then he randomly looks at me and he goes, Great-grandpa's having a rough day. Which freaked me out to begin with, because if you guys have been with me for a long time, you know that my grandpa, which would be his great-grandpa, the one who paid for the house, he passed away in the house in, like, 2000. I can't remember if it was either 1999, 2000, or 2001. I can't remember exactly. And he passed away in the living room, right where the couch is at. He was very sick, and he had a hospital bed in there. And he passed away, right? I was actually here when it happened. I seen the whole thing at like 9 or 10, maybe 11. I can't remember. Actually, it would have been after 2000, because I remember him being all worked up about Y2K. and he thought computers were the devil. He loved to watch people use the computer. My grandma had a computer. Since they were married, technically he had one, I guess, but he thought they were the devils. He thought they were from the devil and did not trust them and would not touch them, but he thought they were so cool to watch. I remember, like, we didn't have a computer when I was growing up. It wasn't until I was like 15 before we got a computer, but my grandma got one pretty early on, like the late 90s, and she had computer games for me to come over and play, and I would actually sit in the bedroom I'm in right now, where my dresser is at, was actually where she kept the computer, because this was her spare room. We chose this room to be our room because it's got the biggest closet, but it's otherwise pretty tiny. But I would sit there and play on the computer. I had like Busby, I think is one of them, and then there was Sims National Park, and then there was like the original Sims where like you made towns and stuff, and then they had a full-size bed in here, and my grandpa would sit on the bed, which is right where my bed is at currently, and he would watch me play video games. He thought it was really cool to watch people use computers, but he never wanted to touch it. Just a little fun side story here. So anyway, my grandpa, Levi's great-grandpa, passed away in the house. If you followed me for a long time, you know that we have odd things that happen here. They just, at random, odd things will happen. Haven't had anything for a long time, but if we start moving things around, it's like it kicks up activity. I don't know how else to describe it. And there's a lot of stuff that happened when we first moved in. So I've just kind of gotten accustomed to it, and I'm always just like, oh, it's Grandpa, whatever, you know? So we're sitting in the living room, and Levi gets quiet, and then he looks at me all serious and says, Great-grandpa's having a rough day. And I said, oh my gosh, what did I say? I said, great-grandpa's having a rough day. And I said, which great-grandpa? And he says, the dark one. And I say, what's his name? And he says, great-grandpa. And so I just kind of leave it at that. Here's the thing that freaks me out about that, okay? My grandma ended up dating a black man when I was about, I don't know, 15, 16 years old. Dated him, oh man, all the way up until right before she went to the nursing home. And they had, like, he was old. Like, she was in her early 80s, but he was in his late 80s, pushing 90s. And I swear these two were just like keeping each other going. They were like their reason for being. They were so cute together. And growing up, I started calling him Grandpa because he was part of the family. He was at my birthday stuff. He was at Christmas. He was at all of our holiday things. Like, he was one of my grandpas. And at the end of it, though, like, him and my grandma got into a spat. She was getting dementia. He probably had it being as old as he was. They were both doing kooky things together. And, like, when I talked about how she would get lost driving, he'd be right there with her, just as lost. And, anyway, the weird thing about it, and, I mean, we don't talk about Ernie a whole lot, and nothing necessarily about Ernie, but it's just kind of the way things ended, and just kind of, I guess, out of respect for Grandma. I don't know. The whole thing was just... It's just weird family dynamic stuff. Like, I don't understand it. But it's like when they broke up, it's like he just left and we never heard from him again. Like, broke up with her and broke up with the family. It didn't matter that they had been together for like 10 or 15 years. Probably longer than that. They were together from like 2005 until about 2014. About 10 years, roughly. 2014, 2015. I guess about 10 years. Would it be? I think so. I can't math in my head. But it's just the way they broke up was like, one day we were all happy family, and the next day they got into a big old spat, and she accused him. Like, he went back, in the room that is now Ira's nursery was my grandma's sewing room. And it was on a Christmas day, and he stepped into that, and I guess they'd kind of been bickering a little bit here and there anyways, but he stepped back into that room for something, and she just went off on him, like, acting like he was stealing stuff, and we were like, sorry, my alarm went off. We were like, Grandma, like, he just stepped into the sewing room, like, he's not doing anything, like, he lived here too, you know, like, they lived together, pretty much. I mean, he kept his own apartment, but, like, they pretty much lived together. And we're like, what's going on? And so she finally said, I want him out of here. Like, like, I'm breaking up with him. So he's like, okay, I'm leaving. And I swear, as soon as he walked out the door, And this, again, we've talked about her having Alzheimer's. As soon, and I'm not kidding, as soon as he walked out the door, she turns around and says, "Hey, Ernie, do you want some fruit salad?" Like, none of that had just happened. And they're like, "Grandma, you just broke up with him. You just kicked him out of the house." And she goes, "Oh, that's right." And she looked really sad. But I think she tried to contact him after that. But, like, he would not contact her back, which I don't blame him, the way she treated him there at the end. But again, like, she had Alzheimer's. It wasn't diagnosed yet, but we were pretty sure she was, at least dementia. But I swear, it was one of those things where it's like, she got mad at him, "You're stealing my stuff, get out of my house." And then it's like, "Ernie, do you want fruit salad?" Like, nothing had ever happened. It spun around so fast it could have gave you a whiplash. Like, and then having to remind her she just broke up with him. Like, not even 5 minutes prior. Like, it wasn't long after that before she ended up in a nursing home. And we found out from his family that shortly after they broke up, his nephew came and got him and took him to Florida. And he ended up in a nursing home, and he's probably gone by now. He wasn't doing well, to my understanding. He got really sick. It's like, again, like, they were, like, keeping each other alive. And to my understanding, like, I had somebody come by to see my grandma after she went to the nursing home. It was somebody she made friends with at the retirement. I don't know what you want to call it. Like, we've got, like, this hangout space for older people. I don't know what it's called, but I'm sure if you have one in your town, you know what I'm talking about. It's like for people 65 plus to go hang out. They feed them dinner, they play bingo, whatever. And my grandma would go there and hang out with, the other older folks. And she made friends there. And a lady came by to find out what was going on with grandma because she hadn't been at the retirement center. I don't remember what it's called. And, I let her know what happened. She, ended up in the nursing home. And I asked her, I was like, "Have you heard anything from Ernie?" Because we never heard anything from his family. We never heard anything from him again. Like, nothing. And it was so sad because when she was first in the nursing home, she would ask for him. And we're like, we have no way to contact him. Like, we don't know. He won't answer any phone calls. Nothing. And found out from this mutual friend that they had, that I guess he'd gotten really sick and was in the hospital about the same time that grandma was in the hospital, and we didn't know it. And apparently he was asking for her too. That's what the lady said. But his nephew came and got him from Florida and took him back, which is weird because all of his family was in Michigan, like his sisters, so we kind of assumed he'd go to Michigan with his sisters. But I guess his nephew, according to this lady, took him to Florida. And I guess he was really pretty bad. Like, the way she made it sound, I'm surprised he was able to travel to Florida. But anyway, my assumption, like I said, he was in his late 80s. That, like, we're talking like 88, 89, kind of late 80s. So, and it's been 5 years since all this happened. So he would be like 94 now. So we're kind of assuming that he's passed away. But, and I mean, I know we've talked about Ernie a little bit here and there in front of Levi, but not in the same way that we've talked about, like, my husband's grandpa or, like, my biological grandpa's. I don't know. It's just a little different, I guess. Maybe it also comes down to family dynamics, because for a while there, I don't want to say grandma kept her and Ernie separate from us, but in a way she did. Like, I mean, I felt comfortable enough to call him my grandpa, and I considered him a grandpa, but I also never felt as close to him as my biological grandpa's. I don't know. Weird family dynamics. I don't know how to describe it. And if you've got weird family dynamics, then you probably understand that sometimes family dynamics are just weird. But, and I know we've talked about him, and we've talked about stories with him, stories he used to tell. But the main thing here is that Levi said, you know, great-grandpa is having a rough day. And I said, which great-grandpa? And he says, the dark one. And the weird thing about that is that even though I know we've talked about Ernie, not as much as we've talked about my biological grandpas and my husband's biological grandpa, we've never been like, oh, Ernie was black. Like, we've never, you know, that was never a thing. We were never like, oh, Ernie was the black grandpa. Like, that's just not something that comes up in conversation. Like, he was just Ernie, and he was my grandpa, and these were the stories that he told, and, like, it never went any, well, it just, you know, that's not something we ever told Levi, you know? Like, that's just a weird thing. So it's odd for Levi to sit there and look at me and I say, which great grandpa? And I'm fully expecting him to say something along the lines of like my grandpa that passed away in the house, or like, I don't know, but I was not expecting him. And we had also talked about great grandpas probably 3 or 4 days ago with my mom. She was talking about her dad. And so I fully expected it to be something related to that conversation, something about Grandpa Hancock, like, you know, something along those lines. Was not expecting him to look at me and say, the dark one. Like, what? Just creepy. Like, is Ernie here? Is Ernie here for a visit and having a rough day? Part of me wants to ask for a sign, but part of me is afraid I'll get one. Anyway, was not expecting that. Apparently my child can see ghosts now. Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, the alarm went off, so I need to get him ready for school and out the door, and we are now running late because I sat here and told you the story. So, I'll check with you in a little bit. Okay, so we're at the hair salon. My husband is going to meet us here. We've decided to go ahead and get Ira's first haircut too, which makes me want to cry. I'm not ready. He's rocking that cute little baby mullet, and I'm not ready. But my husband has commented on it needing done. My dad commented on it needing done. A lady at the mall commented on it needing done. She was really nice about it. Hey, we all hear you, okay?
A baby mullet.
And he was asking if Ira was getting it done as well, because he's honestly kind of scared to get it done. And so I started thinking, I'm like, well, maybe if he sees his brother get it done first and see there's nothing to be scared of, maybe Levi will handle it well. So my husband's on his way here, and because he doesn't want to miss their first haircut. He was there for his too. So hey, so they're both getting haircuts, and I'm so sad about Ira's baby mullet. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for his baby mullet to be gone. I'm sad.
Keep your tractor over here. Hey.
Okay, ready, cutie pie? Are you ready?
Mommy's not ready.
Hey, look.
Yeah, I'm filming it.
Levi.
Look, Bubby's getting his done. It's not scary at all. You see Bubby getting his done? He's super helpful.
Aw, hi. Hi, baby. Hi.
He's like, oh, I just noticed you're back there. Hey, are you watching Bubby get his done?
Yes.
It's not scary, is it? You're not
Doing a
scary.
great job.
You're gonna get yours next, right?
No,
Yes.
I'm not. I'm scary at all.
It's not scary.
Oh, you're going to be Mario for Halloween?
And what's Ira gonna be?
Luigi.
Luigi.
Awesome.
Things went so well with his haircut. I'll insert the clips here of both the boys. But look at his hair. Ah! You smile? Say cheese.
Cheese.
He looks so good.
Going to Iron Pub now.
He did amazing for his haircut. He didn't like the front part, and he didn't like the parts around the ears. But he otherwise did amazing. And even the parts where he wasn't like loving it, like he listened to the hairdresser super good, all of her instructions, and he did great. I'm so excited. And then Ira looks like a whole new baby. Look at baby Ira.
He wants to hold the phone. He wants the phone.
He looks quite dapper. They both do. All new kids, fresh haircuts. So now we're gonna head on home and get some dinner, and then we might take the kids to the park. So we are back home now. I've got water boiling on the stove for spaghetti, but thought I'd pop out here and see if any of my strawberries will survive. It looks like a few of them might, but the big healthy ones are in a pile of dirt. So this is currently my strawberry patch. As you can see, that's where my sidewalk is that I spent a big chunk of the summer trying to clean up because it was all covered in grass and whatnot. And now it's covered in dirt again. Kind of feel like this whole gardening thing, especially the strawberries that I was most excited about, was now completely pointless. Again, I know these guys need to do their job, but like if they had come out and said, hey, we need to dig in your flower patch, like I know it looks like a lot of weeds to most people, but I had strawberries out here. And if they had simply asked, I could have came out here and got my strawberries. They may have still died, but I would at least have the chance of replanting them. And now most of them are in this pile somewhere. A few of them have made it, and I am going to go ahead and dig these guys up. These ones are not my original plants. This one might be. I don't think it is, though. So we got one strawberry plant here, 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 and here. And right there is a little one. So I'm going to go ahead and dig these up and see if maybe I can replant them once they're done. And I want to sift through here a little bit and see if maybe I can find some of my original plants. This really sucks because strawberries take a year or more to propagate, and I was wanting them to take up this entire garden space right here. It's a pretty large space, and that's going to take several years to happen. And the few plants that I planted this spring, I started off with 2, and then it propagated, last I counted, to like 4 or 5. It looks like maybe there's a few more that popped up, judging by the few more I'm seeing here. I would have been able to have a very small crop next year, which if we move, it won't matter. But now the more that I'm like looking at prices and stuff, I'm kind of like, maybe we should just stay here and expand out the back of the house. I mean, we wouldn't be in any safer location, but it would be better financially. So I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're here for this foreseeable future, and it just sucks. I wanted strawberries for so many years, and I finally figured out where I wanted to plant them, and I finally did it. I drag my feet on projects because I want things to be perfect. They have to be in the right spot. They got to be perfect. And so I hold myself up on doing a lot of things because they're not, I'm afraid of failing and doing it wrong. So to see them all dug up just really friggin' sucks. So I'm gonna go ahead and try digging these up and then get in there and get the spaghetti going. Well, if you guys are curious to see what it looks like down here, there's the side of my house right down there, brick wall and old pipes. I mean, these definitely need to get done, but I was able to save some of my strawberries, so I'm not sure what to do with these guys between now and then until I can replant them. But so far they don't look absolutely horrible. So it's not the whole crop, but it's a nice amount, and honestly it's more than I even realized was over there. I didn't realize how so many had grown. So hopefully it all works out. And we're having spaghetti and meatballs for dinner. Let me know, do you guys put your sauce on top of your noodles, like in a bowl and plated, or do you mix it up like this? I hear this is like the poor way to do it or whatever. It's not fancy, but like, call me a broke ass bitch because I want no noodle left unturned. I want everything saucy. I don't want to go to mix it in my bowl. I want to enjoy it. I just think this works a little bit better. Personal opinion. Bean! What you doing?
I don't know what it is about this thing.
Beanie weenie.
Both swinging me.
What are you doing? Ain't that so fun?
We done.
Yeah?
I'm done. I'm done.
I don't know.
Yes.
What are we gonna do?
The plane.
I thought we were playing.
I have to get down.
I'm gonna get down.
Is that so fun? Are we on the swing together? Beanie weenie. Oh my goodness, it's so fun! You have the same excited face as your dad. So I'm pretty sure this is like the coolest thing at our park, which is the mommy and baby swing. You guys just seen Mike using it with Levi, who still enjoys it. Ira. Oh, he doesn't have his baby mullet anymore. Oh, it's so sad. Look at you, Bean. Look at you, Bean. You're so cute. You're so cute. Is that a good hand? Is that a nummy finger? As soon as I come to this side, He stops looking over here. We going slow. Oh, I think Levi's about to hit the end of that. Where is he? Oh, never mind. My husband's on. My husband's on the zip line. I thought that was Levi.
I can try again.
Good morning.
Get money.
Hey guys, it's been a few days and I've just never ended this vlog. My hair is a crazy mess. So I've got to go ahead and wrap things up here. I did replant my strawberries. Only one of them looks like they made it. One looks still healthy and green since I replanted. The other ones look shriveled and dead. So we'll see what happens next spring.
This is got garbage.
Currently laundry.
Look at this one got garbage.
Yeah, it needs to go in the washing machine. Levi is doing his own laundry. My basement floors are disgusting. I'm just letting you know. I don't clean down here for the most part. It's do laundry and get out. I hate being down here. So I know there's like lint on the floor and I'm sure you've seen it. So anyways, it's like creepy dungeon. That's what I call it. So yeah, he's doing the laundry. He loves doing laundry. So this is all his stuff. So he's just throwing it all in the wash right now. Yeah, get it in the hole. He's just throwing it all in the wash right now. It's like his new favorite thing to do is help with laundry. Start them when they're young. So we're gonna end things here right now. So if you are new, I just want to say thank you so much for watching my video, or anybody. Thank you to anybody for watching my videos and supporting my channel and hanging out with me. If you are new, I hope you'll take the time to check out my channel, see if there's anything else you'd like to watch. Maybe subscribe if you're not already. And I hope to catch you guys in my next video.